Indoor Car Show, Friday through Sunday, February 27th through March 1st in Tupelo Furniture Market, Building 5. Custom cars, trucks, and bikes from across the nation. With adult admission, you'll get a ticket for a chance to win a Yukon Toolbox to be given away Sunday. Donated by Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, a free garage floor from Bo's Best Epoxy Flooring. The World of Customs Car Show, February 27th through March 1st in Tupelo Furniture Market, Building 5. Partially funded by Visit Mississippi and Tupelo Visitors Bureau.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I hope you all have had a fantastic Saturday across North Mississippi, because when you saw me last weekend, we were talking about the cold start to the work week, the rainy, stormy midweek period, especially on our Thursday, but a much warmer and beautiful weekend on the way. Glad to see that verified, and I hope y'all enjoyed y'all's time outdoors. Glad to say that that forecast and these beautiful conditions, they're going to continue into your Sunday, especially as we take a look at our first headline. This amazing weekend we've been experiencing, that's going to continue into your Sunday. Now, we do have the chance for some pesky showers to make their way into the forecast, but for North Mississippi as a whole, we're good and staying mostly dry as we wrap up our weekend tomorrow. But enjoy the sunset, especially in the background out there. It's going to be a beautiful end to our evening and a beautiful day ahead. Now, as we take a look for the rest of the work week, this forecast is going to be a little bit tricky as we get ready for the start of March tomorrow, and definitely going to tell that spring it's getting started earlier, especially as we track into March. We're going to see those rain chances start to return, those warmer conditions arrive, even feel pretty muggy as we go about our work week. And with spring getting started early, well, we're going to see those rain chances and muggy conditions. They're also going to return as well. So for those of you that have been wishing for spring, well, you're going to get it, but also going to get those pesky rain chances and muggy conditions to come with it. But still, we're going to be tracking that out all weekend long, especially all week long, as we could see some rain chances and thunderstorm chances start to ramp on up next weekend here in North Mississippi. But let's take a look at your first 12, because, hey, you've made it through the work week. Let's enjoy the weekend while we are in it in the present. First 12 looking beautiful. We're starting off pretty much in the mid-60s by 7 o'clock as we wrap up this broadcast. Cooling off towards the mid-50s by 10 o'clock, keeping those clear skies pretty consistent all night long. Now you're going to see these spotty just 10% throughout the rest of your forecast, especially throughout the next 24 hours. These are due to those just pesky showers trying their best to make their way into North Mississippi. Now, will any of us notice that they made it? Probably not, especially if it really can't make it to the surface, but we should be good. If you see a few sprinkles or two, give it a few seconds and maybe just a few minutes. It'll already be out of our area. But going into the overnight hours, we're going to continue cooling off, upper 40s by 4 o'clock. And then as we start off our Sunday morning, that cloud cover going to start building up just a little bit, mostly clear conditions, but still pretty much in the upper 40s as you start off your Sunday morning tomorrow. Now let's take a look at some of these live looks across North Mississippi. This is at sunset, though, just behind those headlines. This is out there in Caledonia, 67 degrees, feels like 67 as well. No wind chill affecting us like we were talking about a lot last weekend as we prepared for the frigid start to the work week. Well, we are definitely in complete opposite season as we wrap up this week and enjoy the weekend. Maybe seeing some of that cloud cover off in the very distance, but those clear skies very evident as that high pressure system continues to keep us dry and clear across North Mississippi. So a beautiful shot out there in Caledonia later on this evening. Now out there in Columbus, 70 degrees, feels like 77, so a little bit muggy. I wonder if that reporting station is actually that accurate. Shouldn't be that warm, but definitely still just kind of talk about those above average conditions. We're definitely feeling them this evening as those cameras continue loading on in, but that wind not really affecting us, so definitely not going to feel anywhere near below what those actual temperatures are at the outdoors, could feel just a slightly warmer. But curious to see if that is the actual one, just because those cameras aren't loading. So that might be from earlier, so maybe just slightly cooler out there in Columbus. I'd be shocked to see for 77 at 6 o'clock tonight. But let's go out there into Pontotoc. This is 68 degrees. Feels like 67 as well. Beautiful skyline out there as that sun continues to set. 5-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the south, allowing that moisture to build up and kind of help us feel a little bit warmer than those temperatures outdoors. But main story, we're staying dry. We're seeing those beautiful skies above. That's going to continue into the overnight period ahead. Now let's take a look at that temperature change all across North Mississippi. We were getting ready for it to plummet as we started off our Monday, but we're actually seeing those temperatures increase as we have transition into the weekend and continue into our Sunday. Pretty much around 5 to 7 degrees temperature change in the positives as we've gone through the past 24 hours. So warmer conditions already making their way here to North Mississippi, and we're going to see that warming trend pretty much continue into the work week ahead. Now let's take a look at Doppler radar as we kind of track out those dry conditions. As you can see, not really seeing anything across North Mississippi, and that is a good thing. We've had our fair share of tracking out some storms, especially Thursday night with those hails and thunderstorms kind of moving on through North Mississippi. We're not tracking out anything tonight. Get outside, enjoy these beautiful conditions. You're going to be good to go all night long and into your Sunday tomorrow. Now let's see kind of what's responsible for this. Well, we don't really have any weather makers within our area here in North Mississippi besides that high pressure system. This is what Gabe was talking about last night, where it was originally west of us, funneling in some of that cooler, drier continental air to North Mississippi, but now that it's to the east, it's bringing in that southerly motion, bringing that moisture from the Gulf, allowing us to start getting a little bit warmer and eventually going to make us feel a lot more muggier outdoors as well. So that warming trend, you can thank that high pressure system sitting out towards the east of North Mississippi for that. But right now, it's also helping us stay dry and enjoy these beautiful conditions. So can definitely give it some thanks as we continue into our weekend ahead. Now, Futurecast is going to show that high pressure system continue shifting on out towards our east. We're staying pretty much dry and calm across North Mississippi. But here we go with those 10% I was talking about. You can see just the slightest, what's the word I'm looking for? The lightest shade. I think I already said that. I don't know. I'm just having it's Saturday night, but lightest shade of green kind of moving across North Mississippi, especially on our scale. The lowest one that you can see. So not really confident on these rain chances, especially if they can even make its way to the surface, but going to be the very tiniest sprinkles making their way across North Mississippi. But notice that's midnight and on. Most of us are going to be well asleep by this time period, so not really going to notice it happen. But that's due to a cold front moving on through North Mississippi, trying its best to provide some lift to any rain showers across our area. We don't really have the ingredients to see much moisture and rain showers right now, so expecting to still see dry conditions. But for those out in the Delta, y'all are going to see the best chances of those rain chances throughout the next few hours and into the rest of our weekend. So keep that umbrella, maybe rain jacket in the back seat of the car, but doubt you're going to have to pull it out as we continue enjoying a beautiful weekend in store. Take a look at the next 24. You can kind of see what I mean with those 10% trying their best to make their way into the forecast. We're starting off dry for our Sunday, mid-40s by 6 o'clock, working our way up pretty quickly into the low 70s by noon. That cloud cover starting to build up just a little bit more. So if you're expecting another clear day across North Mississippi like today, well, still going to be beautiful, but that cloud cover, it's going to build on in as well. Now, those rain chances going to struggle as well. Most of us are going to continue to stay dry, if not completely dry, all across North Mississippi, but a few of us could see a brief sprinkle or two. Notice not really talking about showers, just sprinkles moving across North Mississippi. By the time we make it towards that 6 o'clock broadcast tomorrow night, maybe you could see two of those on our Mama Jess's Doppler radar. Temperatures in the upper 60s, already cooling off towards the low 60s by 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. But don't go anywhere. I want to continue to make sure you are best prepared for your Sunday morning tomorrow. Everything you need to know as you wrap up the weekend. But also, we have a lot to talk about as we get ready for the work week ahead, especially with those pesky rain chances. All of that's coming up right here after this break.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
As we move into storm season, here's something most homeowners don't realize after a storm. Roof damage isn't always obvious. Wind can lift shingles, breaking the seal. Hail can bruise them below, and flashing around chimneys and pipes can loosen without you ever knowing. That damage may not show up for months. If your area has strong wind or hail, a professional inspection will help bring you clarity before small damage turns into bigger problems.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us for Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I know I'm covering up the information for our evening planner, but before we get started with this broadcast, I want to mention kind of what to expect as we get ready for our evening ahead. We actually have a fun astronomical event happening tonight, and that's due to a planet alignment occurring this evening. My mom told me about it earlier today, so I wanted to make sure y'all know about it as soon as this broadcast is over, especially as sunset is starting to occur now. Go outside, look towards the western horizon, and you can see maybe a few of our planets start to line up across the sky, which I wanted to read them off just to make sure I can read it perfectly for you guys. Don't want to miss any of the planets. The planets that will be involved in this planet parade will be Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, and Jupiter. Now, the visibility, best viewed approximately 30 minutes to an hour after sunset, so I'll be right after this broadcast, so make sure to send any pictures you can see and look towards the western horizon. So as that sun continues to set, it'll start to get darker and you'll definitely start to see it more obvious, but different planets will be viewed much easier. So to those with viewing with the naked eye, you can see Venus, which will be the brightest, Jupiter, which will be, I believe, the highest, and Saturn will be yellowish, and sometimes Mercury. Now, for those that have binoculars or a telescope, those are easier to spot Neptune and Uranus. So send in any pictures you have. This will be later on tonight. And of course, we also have a blood moon coming up on March 3rd. But just kind of wanted to share that little fun fact because I just love hearing different things like that occurring up in the sky. So gives us something to look at, especially as we're enjoying these clear skies tonight. But let's take a look at our evening planner showing those clear skies for the rest of our overnight period. We're starting off with temperatures in the upper 50s, so beautiful sightseeing conditions later on tonight. Cooling off towards the low 50s by 11 o'clock, upper 40s by 10. And there we go with some of those pesky showers trying their best to make their way into our forecast tonight. Notice it's occurring in those AM hours. We're not really going to notice it occurs if it does, but still wanted to make sure y'all know about it later on tonight. Now, those temperatures all across our region, pretty much in the upper 60s all across North Mississippi. 68 out there in Booneville and 68 outside here in Tupelo. 68 out there in New Albany, 71 Holly Springs and Senatobia, 73 Clarksdale, 75 out there in Greenville. So definitely still mild conditions continuing to bug us tonight, but hey, with how cold we started this work week, I don't think any of us are opposed to these warmer conditions starting to finally bother us here in North Mississippi. So let's take a look at Futurecast this evening as we take a look at those clear skies all across North Mississippi. That southerly motion continuing to affect us due to that high pressure system behind me. You can kind of see that shadow continuing moving off towards the east. And that's allowing that moisture to continue building on up. We'll start to see some of that cloud cover return later on this evening. Even by the 10 o'clock hour, we're going to see those mostly clear conditions continue across North Mississippi. Now, those rain changes still along that cold front pretty much in Arkansas, just west of the Mississippi River. They're going to try its best to move across the river and into North Mississippi, but notice, we're not really tracking much. I mean, this is the lightest shade of green, saying maybe somewhere within that area we'll see a sprinkle or two. I'm not confident about these rain chances, but if any of us were to see them, the Delta, that's going to be our best chance to see these sprinkles move across North Mississippi. This is at 2:30 later on tonight, kind of continuing into the overnight hour. So notice it's not really going to affect any outdoor plans you have unless, hey, you're out and about around 2, 3, 4 a.m., but maybe a stray shower affecting those out there in Clarksville by 6 o'clock as you wake up for your Sunday morning church commute. But notice all across North Mississippi, we're staying dry. Still not really confident about those rain chances later on tonight. Now, those low temperatures overnight going to be still pretty elevated and above average for where we should be this time of year. Pretty much upper 40s across North Mississippi, and we can even talk about some low 50s, pretty much riding along the Mississippi River. 53 in South Haven, 51 in Tunica, 52 Clarksdale and Cleveland, and 53 out there in Greenville. But those upper 40s, like I mentioned, 47 in Amory, Houston and Bruce, 46 Tupelo and Starkville, and 48 out there in Louisville. Our normal should be around 40, so these above average conditions, well, they're here and they are definitely here to stay throughout the next few days here in North Mississippi. So let's continue on in this broadcast. Take a look at your day planner as we get ready for our Sunday, especially our Sunday morning church commute. A lot better of a forecast. Not going to be chilly as you walk out of the door tomorrow. Upper 40s by 7 o'clock with those mostly clear conditions. That cloud cover is going to continue building on up as we increase with those temperatures, reaching pretty much the upper 70s across North Mississippi. 76 out here in Tupelo by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and cooling off towards the mid 60s by 7 o'clock tomorrow. So definitely going to feel like spring across North Mississippi, and it's just going to be a little bit ahead of schedule. But coming back to Futurecast, we can see that cold front continuing to move across North Mississippi, and that's going to be the focus point of this forecast for the next few days. We're going to see a lot of fronts try their best to move across North Mississippi, and why we're going to see those rain chances almost stay pretty consistent and constant throughout the work week. Now, there will be a chance where they start to increase just a little bit. Don't worry, we'll be covering that later on and later in this broadcast. But by Sunday morning, starting to see that cloud cover start to build in for your Sunday morning at 8, and then pushing into those mid-morning hours, even towards lunchtime. Still going to see a much cloudier day tomorrow as compared to our clear day today. Still going to be beautiful. We're staying dry with beautiful conditions all across North Mississippi. But take a look at those rain chances. They're pretty much just laying right across across the Mississippi River, moving on in, and our best chance to see some of those rain chances are going to be in the most northwestern portions of North Mississippi, maybe affecting those in DeSoto County, especially Olive Branch, and out there in Sardis, the Sardis Lake community as well. But for most of North Mississippi, we're staying dry. But for those out in the Delta or the northern portions of the Delta, keep that rain jacket and umbrella handy, but hopefully shouldn't have to use it as you wrap up your Sunday tomorrow evening. Now, those high temperatures for tomorrow, definitely well above average for where we should be this time of year. Upper 70s all across North Mississippi. A few of us getting closer towards low 80s. 78 out there in Houston and Eupora, Grenada, Greenwood, and Belzona. 73 in Clarksdale. Now for DeSoto County, where we're talking about some of those rain chances, 68. So y'all definitely have it better as far as that temperature outdoors, even with how it's going to feel. 67 out there in South Haven, 71 in Senatobia. But for pretty much a majority of us here in North Mississippi, pretty much right around those temperatures outdoors, you're going to be feeling that as you go about your day. But I'm taking a look at this. I'm realizing these are kind of spring-like conditions, early summer conditions. So for our planner tomorrow, I put in the ice cream planner. Stark Vegas Snowballs opened up, so very excited to get in line one of these days sometime soon and try it out. So had to put this into the broadcast, especially with how warm we're going to be. 74 by 1 o'clock, mid-70s still in the early evening hours, and then mid-60s by 7 o'clock. So no matter what time of the day it is, tomorrow afternoon or evening, it's going to be beautiful, and we're going to continue to stay dry with those warm conditions. Get outside, maybe enjoy some ice cream, some snow cones. Definitely going to be a beautiful day for that. Now, coming back to Futurecast, let's take a look at those rain chances again. This is where the forecast is going to be a little bit tricky, especially at these models not doing any good job trying to match up with those rain chances, but they're continuing to move on across North Mississippi, and I just think this is very overdone, in my opinion, especially by midnight. Those rain chances very prominent along the most northern portions of our state. Not really expecting that. I'm expecting us to stay dry. The good theme with this forecast is it's affecting us around midnight into the AM hours. Not really going to bother any outdoor plans or events, as we're going to be well asleep by this time. Not even going to affect us any. We're not expecting rumbles of thunder, but those rain chances are going to try their best to move across North Mississippi. Still expecting mostly dry overnight period. Even by Monday morning, maybe a few of us could see some sprinkles and showers as we walk throughout the door, but most of North Mississippi continuing to stay dry as we go throughout our Monday. Those rain changes continue to move on out. Now the most northeastern portions of our viewing area, especially Corinth, Boonville, Tishomingo County, and even Itawamba County as well. Going to see some of those rain showers maybe by lunchtime tomorrow. They're going to continue moving on out of our area as we get ready for the afternoon evenings ahead throughout our Monday and get ready to wrap up the first evening of our work week. Don't be scared by this. This is actually just a warm front kind of moving on through. We don't really see that very often on Futurecast. That's attached to a low pressure system super far out in the west, kind of moving on through, trying to provide some lift to some rain showers kind of going across Arkansas. But into the overnight hours Tuesday, definitely seeing drier conditions, even somewhat clearer conditions, but that southerly motion continuing to be the focus point of our forecast and why we're going to feel a lot warmer as we go throughout our work week. Now those high temperatures all across North Mississippi for your Monday, still upper 70s across our viewing area, 77 in Vernon, Amory, and Houston, 78 in the Golden Triangle region for Starkville and Columbus, 75 New Albany, 72 Holly Springs, and 71 out there in South Haven. And those feels like values, well, you're going to be feeling identical to those temperatures outdoors, which, in my opinion, a lot better than feeling a lot colder than what it was outdoors. Now let's take a look at your 7-day forecast as what's going to be a very interesting forecast to take close attention to as we wrap up our weekend and get ready for the work week ahead. We're talking about still beautiful conditions throughout your Sunday, upper 70s for your highs, mild conditions for your lows. But take a look at your lows for the rest of the work week. They continue increasing, showing that moisture continuing to be supplied into North Mississippi, making us feel honestly downright muggy as we go throughout our work week ahead. And those temperatures also rising as well. But Wednesday and on, those rain chances, they come back into the forecast and they stick around. So notice, not really used to seeing those percentages stay pretty consistent throughout North Mississippi, especially for the later parts of winter, but we're starting to get into March and severe weather season. It is on the rise and getting closer and closer. So we're going to be talking about those rain chances throughout the back half of your work week and what to expect for those storm chances Saturday coming up after the break. Definitely above average. We'll be discussing that right here after this break.
By the time you see the symptoms of lung cancer, it could be too late. Now there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early. If you smoked, get scanned.
Hate is loud, but love is the majority.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Well, thanks for sticking around for Mississippi Live Weather at 6. Let's take a look at those rain chances real quick as we wrap up this broadcast. Notice for Sunday, around at 10% as those pesky showers continue moving on through our area. But Wednesday and on, those rain chances, they stay pretty consistent and continue into the work week ahead, pretty much peaking around 40% for your Saturday. Well, let's take a look at that precipitation outlook. This isn't for the upcoming work week. This is almost next weekend and on, showing those above average conditions all across our state here, or at least the northern portion of the Magnolia State across North Mississippi. So definitely above average, much wetter conditions across our viewing area. And this isn't just a North Mississippi thing. This is almost a southeast thing, expanding further out west as well, especially into Arkansas, which they need it just with how their drought conditions continue to get more and more intense. Northern portions of Louisiana and most eastern portions of Texas, even into Oklahoma. And this is just due to, well, March is almost upon us, and that also means severe weather season. So we're going to start to see those systems start to continue forming out there in the west, especially along the Great Plains, continue moving on eastward towards North Mississippi. So those rain changes, they're going to start becoming more and more obvious as we get ready for more work weeks ahead and more weekends. So wanted to kind of show you that above average condition. It's on its way to North Mississippi, especially with those spring-like values, how we're feeling tonight. Well, they're going to continue and bring those muggy and showers with them as well. Now let's talk about those rain chances, especially throughout your Wednesday and until next Saturday. Going to be a little bit tricky just talking about how we have to look into a lot of different models, and I can only show you one here. So we're going to talk about those rain changes. This is starting off Wednesday morning around 8 o'clock. Going to see pretty much a cloudy start to your day, but also noticeably a dry start to your day. Let's take a look at those rain changes as we go throughout the rest of the day. Those rain changes start to get a little bit more apparent along the Mississippi River, a lot heavier out there across Arkansas. Could see some rumbles of thunder as well out there in Arkansas. It's going to try its best to move into our area as well. Seeing some of those yellows move in, signifying some heavier downpours, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, not tracking anything intense throughout your Wednesday. As we go throughout our Thursday and into the overnight period, those rain changes kind of last all night long into your Thursday morning hours, so it could be a soggy start to your Thursday. Those rain changes kind of lingering across North Mississippi as we go throughout our Thursday. Noticeably drier by the time we reach our Thursday evening around dinner time. Those rain changes continuing to linger on just a little bit out there into Arkansas, just west of the Mississippi River, but a drier Thursday evening in store. And let's take a look at Friday. This one has significantly downtrended in the past few model runs, not showing too much of a rainy start or just rainy Friday overall. This is Friday morning around 8 o'clock, seeing mainly cloudy conditions, a little bit clearer as compared to the Wednesday and Thursday start that you've seen in this model run. But some of those showers starting to try their best to make their way into the evening hours. But notice again, the lightest shade of the color scheme that we have here for our table above, just showing not really confident on those rain chances, hence why that percentage has gone down just a little bit, and just showing those pesky showers doing their best to kind of just stay in the forecast throughout the rest of the work week. But let's take a look Friday evening and into your Saturday. This is around 9:30. We're going to start to see some of those showers kind of move across North Mississippi and crossing the Mississippi River. This is Saturday morning, but going throughout the rest of your day. Notice I couldn't really find too many here, but you saw 40% for your Saturday, even the chance for some of those thunderstorms as well. Well, we're not really seeing it on this model. That's because there's another model out there that we see kind of those thunderstorms a little bit more apparent. Couldn't pull it up on here, but just kind of showing you that there are a lot of model runs that we look at behind the scenes that try to kind of blend them all together, look at ones individually. So just showing that Saturday is probably going to be our best day to see those rain chances start to pick up just a little bit more and see some rumbles of thunder. But we've already seen how much it's shifted the past few days. It's going to continue to do that within the next few as well. So make sure to continue to stay updated with us here at Mississippi Live Weather, as we'll make sure to get you best prepared. But just wanted to show you kind of what you can expect with those rain chances further on into the work week. But of course, we still have quite a few days until we see them here in North Mississippi. But of course, here's the QR code to both the iOS and Android app. We appreciate all the support you have given us. We want to make sure that you continue to stay updated with us as we get closer towards severe weather season and some systems trying to make their way to North Mississippi. We still got a little bit to go, but definitely getting towards that time of the year and definitely that time of the month as we wrap up February tonight and get ready for March tomorrow. Of course, we'll be live later on tonight at 10 as I'll try to see any changes in those model runs between the 6 and the 10 and see if those rain chances start to shift a little bit more or if they start to become a little bit more consistent. Those models not agreeing right now, but we do expect those rain chances to ramp on up next weekend and towards the end of the work week ahead. But for now, enjoy these beautiful conditions for this weekend. You have earned it after already making it through another hard work week across North Mississippi. So enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday evening, and we'll see you back here live in the Room to Room Weather Center at 10.
Again, these will not be tornado-producing thunderstorms. These are kind of high-base storms, so they're hail producers, hail threat. Probable that we've been dropping some large hail, probably in excess of an inch inside.
And of course, we will keep eyes on that as well. Now, this is looking more towards the south and west.
That is 65 dBz. This is golf ball size hail, easily.
This is in downtown Tupelo right now. Folks are driving very cautiously because of the heavy downpour.
This is looking the same way that Ethan's looking at there. So this is the backside of that thunderstorm. Still a decent amount of hail aloft in that.
So this is probably the brunt of it as it continues moving through that Boeing segment.
It's a large output of large hail in the Dumas area, and that was one of our more notable storms.
We've had some hailstones out here in the last few minutes, north side of Tupelo. So we have had some power disruptions from this coming through at the highest end 3+ inches.